that handguns should basically be banned and guns are causing crime. And now Piers Morgan, we were just talking about foreigners being sent to run England, foreigners being sent to run other countries. That's the New World Order. Piers Morgan has called for a ban of all semi-autos on CNN. CNN anchor rants about gun control. So there you go. I mean, and again, it's amazing that this is what we live under. That's up at Infowars.com. Right now. Long segment coming up. We're going to air a special report on the Second Amendment that Aaron and I put together, and then go back to Max here with us. And I'm excited to announce that Max is going to start doing 10-minute special reports for Infowars Nightly News once a week, as well as joining us a few times a month. We're very honored to have him do that, and I should add that you should follow him at Twitter, and also MaxKeiser.com. And we're going to put it up on screen, Max. It's at Max Keiser. Very, very simple to follow you at Twitter. And I'm Real Alex Jones, and I've got a at Prison Planet, but I don't know why I don't have a at Real Alex Jones. We'll figure that out. But at Max Keiser, everybody should follow him there for all the updates. And I hope you're wrong, but I do see massive preparations for this. And look at this. Cops to Congress. We need logs of Americans' text messages. CNET News. Guilty until proven innocent. Feds telling states to pass laws allowing highway checkpoints. TSA announces highway checkpoints in all 50 states. They're announcing capital controls, that you won't be able to leave the country now if they say you owe money. I mean, this is becoming Nazi Germany, Max Keiser.
Well, it's not. The capital controls, it's not just even trying to leave money, leave the country across borders. It's, the central banks don't trust each other. That's why the lending is not being made. A lot of people are complaining that the banks are not lending enough to stimulate business because the banks are hoarding cash, and they're hoarding cash because they don't trust each other, because they know that a credit freeze, like in 2008, or a collapse, as I'm predicting will come, they need that money on hand to pay themselves, basically, and they don't trust each other. This is another reason why, since 2009, the central banks have been buying gold. This year, they're going to be buying over 500 tons of gold. That's just the central banks. Also, starting next year, Alex, the Basel Agreement will classify gold for banks as a Tier 1 asset, which means that you can borrow 100 cents on the dollar against gold that you own. So another big buyer of gold in 2013 will be banks.
And China's doing it. Universities are doing it. Soros is doing it while simultaneously bad-mouthing it. I mean, a lot of this, for me, signals a bull market in gold.
Well, China is due to surprise everybody when they announced their official reserve figures. They officially have 1,051 tons, but now it's pretty much an open secret that they have at least 3,000 tons. They're the biggest gold producer in the world, the biggest gold miner in the world. None of the gold leaves China. There was a report that came out a couple of weeks ago proving or suggesting or indicating that no gold bar circulating in the vaults of any of the banks around the world have any Chinese stamps on them, because China does not let this gold leave China. They're out all over the world accumulating gold. They want to get enough gold in-house to give them protection against that huge reserve of dollars that they have. They have 3 trillion paper money reserves, over $1 trillion of that.
They're massively hedging with gold, and who else is doing that? Basically everybody.
Well, Mexico has increased their gold position by thousands of percentage points. Korea's been buying gold. Every central bank in the world, many of the central banks in the world are buying gold. Some are famously not buying gold, like the Bank of England sold.
What about all the fake tungsten? I heard you talking about that 5 years ago. It's surfacing in vaults and government and private central banks everywhere.
Well, when the paper money collapses, tungsten's not that bad thing to have. I mean, anything that's not paper is going to be valuable against a paper money apocalypse that's coming. But the tungsten has been an issue for years and years. I mean, it's one of another concern. I mean, you need to keep your head up and make sure you don't...
Sure, my point is the gold-covered tungsten is surfacing everywhere.
The big gold market, it's not enough of an issue to alter these trends that we're seeing.
No, I understand. I'm just saying that shows that these Western banks don't have as much gold as they've said they have.
Well, the bigger problem is that they've leased it out. This is why a lot of the gold in central bank vaults that they've leased out, now there's a big question mark whether that gold is actually there. Now, to contrast this with what we saw in the United States a couple of weeks ago, when it was thought that...
Okay, Max, we're going to break. Your mic's distorting just a tad. You may want to back off it a bit. We're going to have a special report on guns and the attack on them, and then back to Max Keiser.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.